So here's the question from last time. If you were to shape a ministry for former prisoners based on the story of Dismas, remember we talked about the Dismas story, what would be the guiding values or
Sorry, Harry.
principles of your ministry? Anybody want to respond to that? Maybe even put your hand up or whatever. Any thoughts on that as you've looked again at the story in Luke 23?
I guess I'll have a go at it. It's Trevor.
Okay,
I don't know if
okay,
I
Trevor.
need to put
Yeah,
on my camera or not, but
that's okay. Yeah,
the
thank you.
first thing that pops up to me is the good life model. So living a kind of a balanced lifestyle. So you want to have, a good faith, have your religion aspect, obviously, but have support from your family and have support from friends, and you want to be able to learn new things. It's the opportunity to better yourself as a person. Just the entire, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I don't know, just living a full, meaningful life really is what I would be thinking as a former prisoner, and coming out, and what do I need to do in society? What do I need to do in this world? You want to have purpose for sure. So getting a job is important. Getting yourself back on your feet, and becoming a productive member of society again, I think is the key. So
Thank you. Anybody else want to share?
Harry, could I just make a quick remark to what Trevor said? Some may not be familiar with the term he used, the good life model. It is a model that more and more practitioners are using it in what's called, what we formerly would call relapse prevention, in preventing someone going back into crime. And it's a more positive approach instead of the typical old style, don't go here, don't do that. It focuses more on what you can do and what your strengths are. And so just to clarify what Trevor said, so he's saying that it would be a positive thrust instead of always saying no, no, no. It's what can you say yes to and to go forward.
Thank you. Now, anyone else? If you were to
Yeah,
shape,
hi, Harry.
yeah, who's that?
Paul.
Paul. Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to unpack in that in those short verses, but certainly some values and principles are just based on how Jesus lived his own life, his own love, for his sacrifice, his mercy, the gentleness of his words. Generally a need to be humble, because we have to recognize, we're all sinners in our own way, and none of us really can fully recognize, I think, the damage that we've caused. And as sinners, we're also challenged to forgive and reconcile others. And Jesus did that wonderfully on the cross when he not only forgave Dismas, but he forgave those who crucified him. So
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
An acceptance of all, and the knowledge that we're sinners, and we really can't judge.
Okay. Yeah, there's certainly a lack of judgment in that encounter between Jesus and Saint Dismas. Chaplain Julianne sent me a beautiful quote from was it Bonhoeffer, Julianne, a few days ago? And do you have that handy? No, probably. But basically, the thing was that
I can find it.
yeah, if you can, it basically that Bonhoeffer was saying that Jesus did not initiate the conversation, right? Some of us want to go in to work with men and women in prison because we want to save them. We want to bring Jesus to them. It's an evangelization. Jesus didn't do that. He waited for the man in need to reach out to him. There was a beautiful patience about that, and a responsiveness to the need there. Do you have that quote, Julianne? No. If you find it, we can share it. The other thing is,
yeah. I wanted to say though, I think, and you kind of touched on it there, and I guess it was Bonhoeffer influencing me in my line of thinking that. But I think as much as there is an unconditional sort of acceptance, there also needs to be a willingness of them to participate. So, you know, like Bonhoeffer waited for them to ask. Same thing with dismiss. Like, you know, we encourage them and remind them, but we really can't drag them out to the fellowship meetings. Like, they really kind of have to take that first step themselves, right?
But the
And
mutuality.
I think we know the difference between some people who maybe need a little bit more, like, no, really, you're welcome, really, you're welcome, really, you're welcome, as opposed to the people that, you know, we're wasting energy chasing down that don't really want to be there. So I think a willingness on both sides to be fully present,
Yeah.
I think would be important.
There's another. I heard a priest a few years ago at a prison fellowship conference, who's written a book. Unfortunately, it's in French, so I don't know. I don't even know what. But it's about Saint Dismas, and he says his point that he made near the end of his talk was, we all have to be like Saint Dismas. We have to steal the kingdom. We have to be a thief for a thief for righteousness. It's an interesting thought, wasn't it? It was a lovely talk. Well, so let's move on. Next slide.